you're buying gold and silver because what is happening is becoming really frightening. And when you start to see our credit being downgraded by a credit rating agency who finally has the nerve to stand up to the U.S. government and do it, you saw Janet Yellen's very unhappy about that. It's horrible. So how could they do that? Well, I mean, it's true. We're broke. We're insolvent. We are screwing the pooch on so many levels in terms of the way we are viewed globally, not just in our domestic, our international policy, but our domestic policy too. And, this growing group of countries that is pushing back against the West, yeah, it's growing, and, and it's growing with legitimacy.
Andy Schectman, a prominent figure in the world of precious metals, holds the distinguished position of CEO at Miles Franklin Precious Metals. In this video, Andy Schectman expresses deep concern about the current situation, particularly the recent U.S. credit rating downgrade. He underscores the vulnerability of the financial system and predicts that gold and silver investments will gain value as confidence in traditional assets falters. Precious metals came under pressure this week, led by better-than-expected employment data and a lack of follow-through on a U.S. credit rating downgrade. If you remember, in 2011, the economy was still struggling to find its footing after the fallout from the financial crisis. While in 2023, the economy shows signs of strength and resiliency, led by GDP at 2.4% and record low unemployment rates. Andy Schectman highlights a notable exchange development, stressing the depletion of reserves in platforms like COMEX, LBMA, and Shanghai Gold Exchange. He also mentions significant silver deliveries on the Shanghai Gold Exchange and substantial withdrawals from precious metals ETFs like GLD and SLV. As of August 2, 2023, GLD had seen a net outflow of 117.5 tons of gold, or about 1.5% of its total holdings. This is the largest net outflow for GLD since March 2020. While SLV had seen a net outflow of 101.5 million ounces of silver, or about 3.5% of its total holdings. Manipulating sought-after assets like gold and silver, which are depleting due to high demand, presents a complex challenge. Schectman predicts that such tactics will ultimately backfire and prove counterproductive. It is possible that investors are taking advantage of the current high prices of gold and silver. The price of gold has risen by about 20% in the past year, and the price of silver has risen by about 30%. Investors may be selling their gold and silver now in order to lock in profits. We will now bring you clips of Andy Schectman from his recent interview with the original Mark. Before we proceed further in this video, please make sure to subscribe our channel and click the bell icon to stay updated.
Look, this is a big deal. This is a big game. Rising gold and silver signal that the dollar isn't what it portrays to be. So yes, it is fraudulent, but the only way that you can successfully manipulate a market over an extended period of time is to push it in the direction that it is going. Naked shorting something that no one wants is easy to do. Naked shorting something that everyone is buying and is draining the exchanges at the same time, the bars that you would use to cover, is very, very stupid. One of the things I wanted to talk about was we're continuing to see the exchanges being bled dry. And what's really interesting, I find particularly interesting, is that the COMEX, the LBMA, the London Metals Association, they're being bled dry. I mean, literally being bled dry. There is no debating that. These are the most sophisticated platforms in the world to take possession off of. It's not easy. Same thing is true with the Shanghai Gold Exchange, experiencing massive deliveries, the biggest one-day silver delivery they ever saw a few weeks ago. But it's not just there, it's the ETFs. And the only ones who can take money out of or metals out of the ETFs are the very, 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 very big groups, usually the commercial banks who fund it to begin with. They're called baskets. Last week, we saw 200,000 ounces come out of GLD. Who the hell's taking it? Where's it going? And we saw 1.5 million ounces redeemed out of SLV. It is not easy to do that. Last time I looked, it was $18 million was the minimum you could take out of GLD. That's one basket. That was a few weeks ago or maybe a few months ago. It's probably more than that now. But the point of it is that who is draining the ETFs? You want to talk about difficult to do. They do it because it's very private. They can redeem their shares for physical metal and no one knows who did it. But the the point of it is that huge withdrawals come off of the exchanges, come off of the ETFs. And at the same time as the exchanges are being bled dry, where Ted Butler says there is a massive shortage in industrial size bars off of the exchanges, the price and the premium and the availability in the physical market has never been better, ever, since 2019, in 4+ years. Lowest premiums I've seen, greatest availability. And I think it's a situation where, you know, the big money is front running once again. They're taking the big supply of gold and silver, using suppression of price and rhetoric to run cover for it. And it's the calm before the storm, or the eye of the hurricane. And the trailing edge is coming, and it's going to smack people. And it's crazy, because literally, as things are disappearing off of the wholesale exchanges across the globe, it's the best availability retail. That won't last long. One more event, bang. And to exemplify that point in terms of sophisticated investors, there is a silver whale, we believe it to be a Chinese company right now, on COMEX that has over 10,000 contracts long, silver contracts long. And they're in the others category. Remember, I've talked about the others category. These are not the commercial banks. These are not the managed money traders. These are probably the sovereign wealth funds and the big private money. That's 50 million ounces of silver, and they're going to take delivery of it. You watch. They will take delivery of it. And when you see these types of withdrawals and these types of positionings on COMEX, they don't care what the price is at. They have enough money to say, manipulate it all you want. We're going to stand for delivery. This is coming, and this is certainly getting real.
Andy highlights the Russian finance minister's insights on the currency's settlement role. The upcoming BRICS currency, backed by a commodity in gold, could reshape global finance with a clear trend towards a commodity-backed system. A planned announcement on the expansion of BRICS at a forthcoming summit in South Africa will mark a significant change in the global order, the nation's ambassador to the five-nation bloc said, even as some of its members push back against new admissions. As per Andy, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization has expanded by including Iran and Pakistan, adding to its regional influence. This move is set to shape regional dynamics and enhance collective efforts for mutual prosperity and security. The foreign ministers of Iran and Pakistan signed a commercial trade agreement on August 3, the Iranian Ministry of Foreign Affairs reported via their official website. Let's get back to interview.
Well, that's the logarithmic decay that I talked a lot about at this last meeting, whether it be about the weaponizing of the dollar and all the move away from the dollar, or the antagonizing and the pushing away of Saudi Arabia, the signing of the executive order that we will be 50% green by 2030, 85% green by 2050. We're going green. We don't need them anymore. We told them that. We weaponize the dollar so everyone thinks, are we next? I mean, what better plan could we make to lose the world reserve status? Of course, we've talked a lot about Jared Bernstein, who the lead economic advisor. That's what he wants. If you want to weaponize the dollar and push away Saudi Arabia, you're well on your way to doing that, little by little by little, then all at once. Look at the positioning of all of these countries, little by little by little, then all at once. You add Iran into the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and you wonder how a country like Iran is sidestepping U.S. sanctions. Well, they sell their oil to China for yuan, which is immediately denominated in, or convertible rather, into gold on the Shanghai Gold Exchange. Little by little, then all at once. It's a game of Jenga. Obviously, I talk about the BRICS a lot, but you've heard me mention two other organizations quite frequently. One being the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. This is the largest regional military and financial organization in the world, who, by the way, just formally recognized the Islamic Republic of Iran as an official member of the largest regional military financial organization in the world. You've also heard me mention the Eurasian Economic Union quite a bit. The reason I mention all of these in conjunction with the BRICS is that there is crossover membership across the board. I think Russia's in all of them. China's in several of them. Saudi Arabia, the linchpin to the dollar hegemony, is in the Belt Road along with all the other OPEC producing countries, as I've mentioned. They formally applied to BRICS. They formally applied to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. They have formally applied to the BRICS New Development Bank. You can see that these organizations have some serious clout, and they're all basically playing in the same sandbox. What James said, a few things. Now, he came out and said that they were going to issue a gold-backed currency at the August 22nd meeting. There's been pushback against that. In the presentation that I gave, I said, I don't care if they issue it or not on the 22nd. They will issue it. The fact that gold was reclassified the world's only other tier 1 reserve asset, the fact that those central banks have been ridiculously and copiously accumulating it and repatriating it from the vaults around the world tells me that it's just a matter of time before they do implement it. It is coming. We have been told by the Russian finance minister that the BRICS new settlement currency, and I highlight the word settlement, we'll talk about that, but that it will be backed by a basket of commodities. Most probably prominent in that would be gold. James Rickard said it will only be gold and will come out the 22nd. And when I got up on stage, I said, it doesn't matter if it happens the 22nd or not. You had one of the members of the South African contingency said, well, it's not on the docket for this meeting. Who cares? It will be commoditized. But what I took from what he had to say was that those countries or those organizations that I have been speaking about in unison with all of the BRICS and the Belt Road, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Eurasian Economic Union, will be combining and joining with the BRICS at this meeting. They've all been invited. All of the members have been invited to the meeting. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Remember, I said there's 41, 41, 41, but you count and there's 25. Well, you take those two organizations, the Eurasian Economic Union, which is like Russia and all the countries that, like Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, all the ones that end in stan, you put them in with the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, pull out the countries that have already applied and add it to 25, and you're damn near 41.
Depletion of reserves in major platforms coupled with substantial withdrawals from precious metals ETFs hint at intricate market manipulations. These efforts, however, may face challenges in the face of high demand and the enduring appeal of precious metals. Amidst these complexities, how will gold and silver's value impact investments and shape the global economic story? Share your thoughts in comments section below. Currently, 95% of our viewers haven't subscribed to our channel. Our goal is to reach 2,000 subscribers. Please consider subscribing to our channel and helping us reach our target. If you find this video informative, don't forget to show your support towards our channel by giving this video a thumbs up and turn on notifications to stay informed about our latest videos covering more interesting topics. Thank you for watching.